Manila is a perfect example of a very challenging location because of what their security forces face every day. It has been a breeding ground for terrorist activity and training. We bring the president to a location like that requires a number of classified assets, weapons, technical security assets, counter-assault teams, counter-sniper teams, counter-surveillance units, protective intelligence. They all work together to form one effective security plan prior to the president arriving.
Right now, I want to introduce Audrey Gibson.
Good morning, Audrey Gibson, Protective Intelligence. There is credible information that an incident could occur during ASEAN. We are anticipating mass demonstrations that represent a variety of groups and causes. Large crowds on routes and outside of the zones is common and it should be expected. Next slide. This is a map of the threat actors that are present in this country. The more prominent colors on the bottom, those represent ISIS and ISIS-affiliated groups. As of this week, the Philippines has escalated to a critical threat level. The Battle of Morari lasted approximately from May and ended in October of this year. So for 5 months, the Philippine government and ISIS was engaged in a conflict. This is really significant because it's the only major city outside of the Middle East that was held by ISIS. During those 5 months, these ISIS fighters were able to hone and develop tactics and their skill set. IEDs, snipers, grenades. It's easy to obtain anything from a small firearm to military-grade weapons. So although the government liberated Morari, the threat remains that these terrorists could travel north and conduct retaliatory attacks, and it has been factored into the security plan. Thank you.
Today, most everything comes in via social media and the relative anonymity that goes along with that.
This is how we keep track of geolocated information. These are the stops that POTUS is going to be in while he's in Manila. So we'll keep an eye on this to make sure no one posts anything inappropriate or threatening. This one is just someone saying hi. And then we have the Russian Facebook. This guy doesn't say anything concerning though, which is good. Either way, it serves as a good situational awareness and we can find people much faster using this tool here. Here we go. This guy just posted a concerning post. Gonna be in Manila the same time as Trump. I'll take one for the team, lads. And then there's a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald. And I mean, that's pretty concerning because he says, I'll take one for the team, lads. It may show that he's got others maybe working with him. Let's go to his Instagram. Just because he made a veiled threat saying, I'm on my way to Manila and Trump is gonna be there, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? That doesn't raise the hair in the back of my neck. Now, when I'm looking through his social media after the initial threat, we're looking for weapons or anything, any comments that are nonsensical, that's concerning. So this is definitely a red flag. A book that says how to kill, we will investigate him. I'm gonna let Audrey know.
Our Protective Intelligence Division will investigate all the threats and run them down to the ground. They have to determine, is this threat an actual real threat? Or is this threat just a couple taps on a keyboard and not thought about again until we show up at your door?
Ahead of the president's arrival, the threat level in Manila is critical.
For the threat levels, we're not seeing the organized presence of ISIS. They're spelling out right now is the possibility of threats from lone wolves.
Yeah.
Protective Intelligence agents Audrey Gibson and James Swanson monitor the location of ISIS operatives near Manila.
We heard that it was just a hotbed down south. That's ISIS and ISIS-affiliated groups.
Yep. It's possible that they're moving up here, so that's why they're the main concern right now.
Yeah.
Do we want to look into the Facebook threat?
That's a little concerning. The language reads, gonna be in Manila the same time as Trump. I'll take one for the team, lads. Posted a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald. And also posted a photograph of the current book he is reading, How to Kill, the definitive history of the assassin. I don't know if we have a identity on this guy as of yet, but it looks like he's got a few different social media platforms he uses. One of his platforms, Twitter, says that he's currently in Manila. Maybe a couple different aliases, so we probably need to see if we can run down what we can get on this guy.
Hey, Jason, we got your notification for the Facebook threat. We're looking into trying to verify the location. I mean, it says he's in Manila right now, but as far as we know, that hasn't been confirmed. So any other additional information on where he's been, location, identity, and any sort of history of threats would be good. Okay, thank you. Yep.
Okay, so he's gonna return that around to us.
Intercepting possible assassins is a constant coordinated effort between protective intelligence agents in Manila and those back in Washington, D.C.
All right, so check this out. Our subject that posted the Lee Harvey Oswald post, I ran his IP address and it came back to downtown Manila. So he is currently there at a bus terminal. How far is that away from the RON? 19 minutes. 8 kilometers, apparently. That's not cool.
Do we have anything else in the rest of his feed?
All right, let's see what his other social media is. Can you pen over? This post is pretty concerning.
He actually has a screenshot of the protesters gathering near the embassy. He made a comment about it, indicating it's a block away from where he just was. So we've got him traveling toward the RON.
That's what it looks like.
Let's make sure we let Audrey know that he's actually made advances toward the RON, and it appears that he's making some of these posts from right down the street.
One of the biggest unknowns for this advance team is the threat of a possible assassin.
So, Chad, we have some updates for you on the Facebook guy, first off. We are still tracking him. We are aware of generally where he is. There is an active warrant, so we're cooking this guy up.
One potential attacker handled. But now there is a bigger threat to the president's safety.
So we learned actually earlier that ISIS operative could be coming to try to disrupt that ASEAN.
The big thing over here is that ISIS is very prevalent. Protective intelligence was giving us a lot of good information, and they were able to figure out a member of ISIS, made furtive movements to come to Manila.
Some of these guys moving up north are our main concern right now. And we'll just keep in contact with the Philippine police and let you know the latest.
An ISIS operative in Manila, his whereabouts and agenda unknown. For the agents that are tasked with protecting the president, it's unnerving. With the president set to arrive in 20 minutes.
I'll hit Audrey up again, just a reminder that we want to know immediately. This has not been a fluid advance, to say the least.
The location of the ISIS operative is still unknown.
I guess the bigger question is just what proactively is going on to track this guy down. I need an update, like now.
Behind closed doors, Protective Intelligence briefs lead agent Chad Reagan on the location of the ISIS operative.
Our guy is in contact with an associate in Luneta Park. It's a mile north of our RON.
And we're working to get some assets over there. As luck would have it, Audrey tracked him down to a park. It's very close to our hotel. It's unnerving to us because he shows up right before wheels down.
The knucklehead and another associate about a mile north.
Coronado from Reagan. Shift is set.
Arrival at Mogul.
The police had a large contingent in that park.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Whisper that Ornado's here too.
Gotcha, sir.
Linebacker and Hawkeye, come on up, please.
When we arrive at a visit, we have to make sure we're bringing the president into a safe environment.
Working in conjunction with the Filipino National Police, known as the PNP, agents have eyes on the ISIS operative and his associate.
Be advised there's an imminent departure of Mogul from the site.
On Marine One, Chad briefs Anthony Ornado, special agent in charge of presidential protection.
Those two guys, they're in the park currently.
Park where?
It's Lunel Park, sir. It's a mile away from the RON. The guy that they traveled up from south, being police presence with PMP right now, trying to follow those guys up.
They're trying to go pick them up.
Yes, sir.
Right now?
They're saturating the park with police officers right now.
Are they going to hit you up if they got them in custody right away?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've pushed ahead to the next site to reposition. Delta will travel with the motorcade and support. Motorcade is at departure.
As the president makes his way to the landing zone, then to the motorcade,
Base goes on the turn. Vehicle is on left.
and finally to the RON,
Short Bravo. Camp advises 000.
local authorities close in on their targets.
The Filipino government was very aggressive with dealing with this known ISIS member. They tracked him down, they secured him, and no events took place. We're good. We're clear for everything as normal.
This is how the Secret Service works in advance of the president's arrival.
Hoorah.